All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's video for Sunday, August 24th. Something totally different. I don't have any whiteboard with me. I don't have anything to talk about with the Fed, even though there is Fed news. Go to my Facebook page, check it out. A couple of big trades yesterday. All the latest news is always posted on my Facebook page, Fed League Flash, so please go there, like it, follow it, and get caught up on the news. But today I want to do something different. I want to focus on something totally different, and that is my trip that I took a couple weeks ago, to the Rink of Dreams. Now, most of you are going, what is that? The Rink of Dreams is hard to define because it's a place, but it's also a group of people. It's a community. It's a spirit or an idea. It's not just a place, even though a place is involved. The Rink of Dreams is a concept that was created by one Mr. Barry Shelley. Now, Barry grew up in the Binghamton, New York area, watching hockey. He saw the broom dusters of the old NAHL. And then later, the AHL, he watched the Binghamton Barons junior hockey team. He watched the Binghamton Whalers and developed relationships with so many of the players and members of the organizations. And he's always had that knack. He's always had great relationships with people in hockey. He went into the Air Force, served 23 years, played goalie for an Air Force travel team, which is pretty cool. So yeah, former player as well. But he developed this Rink of Dreams as just a place where he could celebrate his love for the game of hockey, and then he ended up sharing it with so many other people. 9 years ago, he just began with using some of the space in his attic to create a rink, a playing area. And you could go up there and shoot pucks into a net and just kind of relax there. And then it became so much more. It became a place where people would donate memorabilia. Most of everything that you're going to see in the photos to follow are donated. A few of the items Barry has been able to purchase, but most everything was given to him by other people who love his love for the game and his appreciation for the game, and they wanted to help him celebrate it. Now, 8 years ago, he started his own Hall of Fame, has an induction ceremony every year for the last 8 years, and I was able to go to the induction ceremony this year. My friend Bob Howard was one of the inductees. And so anyway, we're going to get right into it here, and I'm going to take you through a slideshow of some of the photos that I took and a little description of everything. All right, so as we begin here, this is Mr. Barry Shelley. He is the one who started it all with the Rink of Dreams. Here he is holding a jersey that was given to him by William Fay, who is the president of the Irish Hockey Federation. This is a referee jersey. And something else donated and given to the Rink of Dreams. William Fay was also one of the inductees for this year's Hall of Fame ceremony. All right, we had the first thing you see when you enter into his space to go upstairs in the attic was this huge banner. Syracuse Blazers Eastern Hockey League Walker Cup champions 1972 to 1973. The Eastern Hockey League was the predecessor to the NAHL, which was the inspiration for the movie Slapshot. So Slapshot was very much a documentary, even though it was a fictitious storyline. The inspiration came from the NHL, but the Syracuse Blazers, one of the members of the NAHL, and earlier the Eastern Hockey League, one of the fantastic powerhouse teams of the old Eastern League. So that was really neat. This banner was lost for a number of years. Nobody knew where it was. It resurfaced and it ended up in Barry's house. Really cool. All right, let's enlarge this. This is the main area for the Rink of Dreams. This is where we had the induction ceremony. As you can see, he created the boards. He's got the net there. Nice little display, American and Canadian flags. The boards go all the way around. There's a collection of sticks back there. Really neat area. Of course, he's got the floor painted like a hockey rink. Many jerseys that were there, and again, this is a representation of minor pro, juniors, and amateur hockey. So here you go with a University of New Hampshire jersey. You had a couple of teams from the CHL, the Central Hockey League, represented. Yes, these are game worns, and yeah, you can see a lot of autographs on the Oklahoma City Blazers jersey. Both of these teams were in the old CHL. Yeah, you had some quote-unquote fake jerseys as well. If you're familiar with the movie Slapshot, you know that one of the big dangerous teams in the league was the Syracuse Bulldogs in the movie. And Goldie Goldthorpe, or Ogie Oglethorpe, rather, the character, played for the Syracuse Bulldogs. Now, this was a jersey that was inspired by an NAHL jersey. The design was originally a team called the Bos Yaros. Instead of Syracuse Bulldogs, you had Bos Yaros. They just took it and kind of changed things up. All of the jerseys that you saw in Slapshot, or most of the jerseys that you saw in Slapshot, were NAHL team jerseys that were just altered to fit the movie. Like the Ducks were the old Broom Dusters jerseys. You had the Syracuse Bulldogs. The Chiefs jerseys were an homage to the Johnstown Jets, who were in the NAHL. You even had NHL jerseys. If you know your NHL history, you know that this is an Oakland Seals jersey from the 1968 to 69 season. One of the ugliest logos all time in professional sports, but it's so ugly it's beautiful. That's there you go, Oakland Seals jersey. I love that. You also had nice jersey representing the BC Icemen of the UHL. Now, this was from a Hall of Fame weekend done by the Binghamton Senators, who were in the AHL, paying homage to the team that was in Binghamton before them, the BC Icemen. You also had an ECHL jersey, all-star jersey there. And this was cool. 1976 Team Canada jacket. 1976. That's a real big piece of history there. And then, of course, you also had the Fort Wayne Comets, a team jacket there. Fort Wayne, Barry and I shared stories with each other about listening to games, Fort Wayne Comets games, on 770 AM Whoa radio. This was in the days of analog radio on a clear night. You could tune into your AM radio and pick up all sorts of games. I would listen to Kingston Frontenac's juniors games on a clear night. I would listen to games on WoWo with the Fort Wayne Comets. Here I am living in New York listening to games in Indiana. It was really, really cool. But that was really amazing. Some of the pennants that he has up there, he has several team photos, including one of the Montreal Canadiens back in their heyday in the 1950s. Some minor league teams that existed. Some photos. He's got photos all over now. Here you go. I got to point this out right as the elbow is pointing. The elbow did not come with Barry Shelley's attic. Sorry, Bob. Anyway, this is Bill Goldthorpe. Played for the Syracuse Blazers. This was during his best season as a pro. He scored 55 points that season, but he was a fighter. He was the inspiration of Ogie Oglethorpe. There are many stories out there about Bill Goldthorpe. Check them out. Just do a Google search on Bill Goldthorpe. You'll enjoy it. Several other photos that were in there. Okay. Some of the other things that are in there, towels and hankies that teams put out. I had a lot of photographs, a lot of schedules and programs, even a picture of grapes there in the background. I love that. And that jacket. Talk about that in just a second. I love the placement of this photo. This, of course, is a still from the movie Slapshot. All the players on the team bench watching the game along the boards there. Great placement. I love that. Love that picture. All right. Johnstown Chiefs jersey from the ECHL. And the great thing here, these two seats sitting here, these were seats from the original Clinton Arena in Clinton, New York, nearby Utica, where the Clinton Comets of the Eastern Hockey League played. Yep, they are legitimately seats from Clinton Arena. I thought that was really cool. Several pucks, great puck collection, mostly juniors here, although you do have the Fort Wayne Comets there. But you have some great teams from juniors, the Sioux Greyhounds, of course. Gretzky played with them. You have the Ottawa 67s, Peterborough Petes, Regina Pats, several teams representing the the juniors. Old Binghamton Barons puck there. Great collection. Seattle down here. This jacket, I loved this jacket. That's fantastic. Bomber jacket for the Kansas City Scouts, who, if you don't know your NHL history, started in 1974 as an expansion team of the NHL. 2 years in Kansas City, not very successful. They moved to Colorado, became the Colorado Rockies. 6 years later, they moved to New Jersey and became the New Jersey Devils. So here is kind of looking at the roots of the New Jersey Devils organization. More pictures here. I love this picture. This is the famous Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky photo. Wayne Gretzky had just scored 378 goals for his team as a 9-year-old, I believe. 9 or 11. Anyway, he idolized Gordie Howe. There was a banquet being given. Gordie Howe was in attendance. The Gretzky family went, and here is the very famous picture. Gordie Howe kind of hooking Gretzky's neck there. Gretzky idolized Howe, wore 99 because he wanted to pay homage to Gordie Howe. Didn't feel worthy enough to wear 9, so he wore 99. So that's the story of that. Another look back there, just some of the items in that end of the attic. And then here are some of the members of the group. Barry Shelley there. I hope I pronounced her name right. It was Cindy Siftkoglu, I believe. This was her last name. It was Cindy, if you're listening, and I butchered her last name, I'm so sorry. Cindy is an integral part of this group, this community of people celebrating hockey. She brings many items to the rink. Tom Mitchell, he played for the Clinton Comets and was the owner of the AHL's Binghamton Whalers, Binghamton Rangers, Binghamton Devils. The Hawaiian shirt there, that's the backside, unfortunately, of John Smith, who was a trainer for both the Binghamton and the New York Rangers, also worked with the Binghamton Whalers organization. So, yeah, a lot of people there. This was a photo. It came out a little blurry, but it's still very, very meaningful to me. This is myself standing with Roger Kozar, who is a player with the Broom Dusters way back in the day, goalie. My friend Bob Howard, who was inducted this year into the Hall of Fame as one of the first people to podcast minor league hockey. It would be even before podcast was a word. Anyway, so there's Bob. And then this man over here is Roger Neal. He was an idol of mine growing up. He called the games as a play-by-play man for the Johnstown Jets of the NAHL, the Broom Dusters, and the Binghamton Whalers. His play calling was so fantastic. I would go to Binghamton Whalers games, attend the games, carrying a transistor radio, holding it up to my ear so I could listen to Roger Neal's play calling. It was that good. So Roger was always a hero of mine, even though he didn't play. He played a very integral part in minor league hockey. This photo I love. This is Tom Mitchell wearing this man's belt. This man over here doesn't have anything to do with hockey, although he loves hockey. This is Bill Clark. He is a world championship powerlifter and holds several world records. Has his name plastered in the Guinness Book of World Records. He does things like he can tear hockey pucks in half. He can tear license plates in half. But he uses that as a means of being a motivational speaker. He goes into schools, he talks to kids about optimizing their chances growing up, making the most of every day. Fantastic man. He is an integral part of the Rink of Dreams, even though he made the joke about if he laced up a pair of skates, he'd be falling all over the place, flopping around like a fish, but he loves the game. And so it was great seeing him. And of course, that's Bob Howard in the middle. These are some of the inductees from this last year. William Fay, who I mentioned in the first picture, the president of the Irish Hockey League. Yeah, he flew in all the way from Dublin to take part in this weekend. So that was really, really cool. He didn't like the photo of the Queen back there, but nonetheless, yeah, it was great having him as part of the group as well. And this is a photo of what I would call the Binghamton contingency. People who had a background kind of tied into Binghamton, New York, hockey there. Roger Neal, who I mentioned before. Tom Mitchell, who I mentioned before. Cindy, again, just a great curator herself with memorabilia and contributing items to the Rink of Dreams. Bob Howard, of course. Roger Kozar. John Smith, now you can actually see his face, and Bill Clark. And so, yeah, that was that. Here, let's pause this for a second, and I want to close this out. So I know this video isn't for everyone. I know not everyone is big on hockey history. They just want to watch the game and whatnot. But I love hockey history, and I know many of you do too. And so I wanted to share that with you. The Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, this beautiful, glitzy place, all sorts of amazing artifacts. I'm probably never ever going to get there, but at least I was able to go to the Rink of Dreams and see a pretty amazing collection of items there. And more importantly, meet a lot of people that I might not have ever otherwise met. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Barry, so much for all that you do. You do more than you think and more than you realize. What you've put together is fantastic. I just want to close out with a list of the people who were inducted into the Rink of Dreams Hall of Fame this last year. Many were not able to attend because of other commitments. Some of the names you'll recognize, and these are people that have interaction with Barry. It's not just like Barry just picked a name out of the hat and that person has no idea that they're a member of the Rink of Dreams. These are people that are actually in the community, in the Facebook group. And they interact with each other, which is really, really great. So I just want to run down this list. First of all, one person that wasn't necessarily hockey related, but he was there and a great inspiration to many people. Bill Brown, a former Navy SEAL who does great work, especially in the New York City area, with veterans, working with veterans and raising awareness to veterans' needs. He was honored for his work, and also, just to mention him, he does a charity event, a swim across the Hudson, or swim up and down the Hudson, which many veterans participate in, and it helps raise money and awareness for veterans, especially disabled veterans. But Bill Brown, he was honored. Of course, my friend Bob Howard from the Power Play Post Show, the first to do podcasting of minor league hockey. William Fay, we talked about, president of the Irish Hockey Federation. Roger Kozar, Flyers draft pick, and played for the Dusters and the Philadelphia Firebirds. Many people not able to make it, but they were honored and sent videos thanking Barry. Kevin Shea, who works with the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, he was inducted. Nick Vitucci, who was a goaltender in the ECHL, the IHL, and the AHL, actually has won 4 Kelly Cups as ECHL champion. He was inducted. Billy Welker, equipment manager for the Shreveport Mudbugs of the NAHL. Shreveport, not too far away from the Monroe Moccasins. He was honored. Howard Baldwin, there's a familiar name, founder of the WHA, president of the league, later president and owner of the Hartford Whalers. He was inducted. Bruce Boudreau was honored and inducted. Of course, he played in the WHA, the CHL, the NHL, the AHL, the IHL. When he was in the AHL, I used to hate him when he played for the St. Catharines Saints because he was so talented. He was always one of the top scorers in the league, and he could throw down some hands. You've seen how feisty he was as an NHL coach. He was even feistier as a player. But yeah, he ended up coaching the Washington Capitals, the Anaheim Ducks, the Minnesota Wild, and the Vancouver Canucks. Liam McGuire, some of you may recognize that name, broadcaster for the NHL on NBC. He was inducted. Guvairo, former coach of the U.S. Olympic team, and the also an assistant coach with the New Jersey Devils a couple years. Ted Curtin, he is the coach of the New Jersey Warriors special hockey program. A lot of sled hockey. He was honored. William Watson, play-by-play man for a couple teams in Germany and also Major League roller hockey when that was a thing. He was honored, as was Kevin Kaminsky, Calder Cup champion with the Portland Pirates, played in the NHL, in the AHL, and the IHL, and had coached on several different levels. Ron Scales played for some teams in both Utica and Rome back in the early 80s. He was nominated. You had Dave Middleton, who used to play for the Binghamton Barons juniors team. That team only was around for 3 years, but Barry was very intricately involved with the Barons. And so he honored Dave Middleton. And then Bob O'Reilly, player with the Mohawk Valley Comets of the NAHL and a coach of the Utica Blizzard of the Colonial Hockey League before the Colonial Hockey League became the UHL. So yeah, that's our list of inductees, and all worthy of that, very much so. Again, I was just honored to be there watching things. I took a video that I posted a couple weeks ago of my friend Bob as he was inducted, and honored, and it was an honor just being there and getting to meet some of these people for the first time. John Smith, the guy in the Hawaiian shirt, I used to kind of bump shoulders with him as a nerdy teenager back in his Whalers and Rangers days, and he probably didn't even remember that. But so I got to meet him again. Meeting Roger Neal face to face again. I hadn't seen him in years, but again, it was great seeing him and so many of the other people that were there. It was just an honor and a thrill to be there, and it was overwhelming. It really was. Some people might say, "Oh, this is just a collection of stuff in the guy's attic." Well, again, it's so much more. I invite you to go to the Rink of Dreams Facebook page, become a member, and if you're not up on your hockey history, you can brush up by just listening to some of the things shared by some of the people involved. It's an awesome community of people, and that's the greatest thing. Is it's the people. It's kind of like going to church. They say church isn't a building; it's a community of people in the building, and this is what the Rink of Dreams really represents, in my opinion. Fantastic group. Again, thank you, Barry. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the weekend, taking it all in. This felt like, I kind of felt like that nerdy little teenager again, just in awe of everything. Just, wow, this is fantastic. It really is. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Posted something a little different, and we'll get back to the FPHL on Tuesday with news and notes. Please tune into that. We're going to be breaking down some trades and some other news as well regarding somebody coming back. I'll just say that. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Make sure you're following me on Facebook and on the Flash Audio Network as well. The links are on my Facebook page. All right, I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Have yourselves a wonderful day.